I was always interested in science and wanted to be a molecular biologist. I worked in labs. I always was sure I was going to become a scientist. And the first week in college, I went to Princeton. My resident advisor, the senior who lived with a group of freshmen, mentioned how he took an architecture class his senior year and sort of wished that he knew about architecture earlier in his college career. And as he described it, I realized it had the sort of systems thinking of science that I liked a lot, biology, of how do complex systems work together, how do they hold together and work over time. And so it had one thing that I liked a lot, and then after taking a couple classes, it was, without question, it was like, oh, this is something I really want to do. Straight out of college, I ended up working at Steven Holl's office when it was very small. It was 3 or 4 people when I started there. And around a year and a half in that office, and I graduated with an undergraduate major in architecture, I ended up running a project that was around 20,000 square feet down in Seaside, Florida. And the project was pretty far along in design, and it was a project that took a long time to build, 2 years to build, with a lot of design through the construction process. And honestly, I had no clue what I was doing. I was completely thrown in at the deep end, and it was an office that we were constantly sort of redesigning as we built, drawing perspectives and sort of working through the detail and sort of trying to pull it back overall to the conceptual idea. And that project really had a lot of meaning for me. To me, the sort of biggest challenge of being an architect and really having an office is trying to make sure as you're working over time that you're really doing what you want to do as an architect, and you're really sort of keeping on the same sort of conceptual path that you're interested in. There's a tsunami of just everyday stuff you have to deal with it, whether it's construction issues or budget or clients. And so I was trying to keep that focus, or more usually how I do it is sort of be able to every 6 months just be able to stop for a minute and go, hey, look around, and do we have an office that we want to have? Is this right? Do we need to make adjustments both conceptually, how we work, and just pragmatically on how we're working on things? To me, that's both the challenge and the sort of the great fun of being an architect. Future of architecture, that's such a loaded question. I mean, obviously the most exciting thing about the future of architecture is what we have no idea what the exciting thing about the future of architecture will be, and what issues and how we'll be engaging both the profession or personally engaging projects. In some ways, I feel like I've been practicing long enough, and our office has been going long enough, to close to 20 years, that we have a methodology of how we work. And then the question is how does that evolve over time as the scale and types of projects and types of ideas that we're engaging over time. Right now everyone's talking about issues of sustainability and resilience and climate change. To me, what's really exciting is those set of issues that will either blindside us in 5, 10 years, or even a year and a half from now, and how do you respond to that, and how does how you work as an architect allow you to start to engage these ideas and engage it in your architecture in a sort of meaningful way.